good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's Gago Petaris here at the Nine Tiger House. Today we have a 90 set coming to talk about her experience with when she was in Comlag. So I'll pass it over to my co-host to introduce her. Prefect, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ifedat Bolower, Command Secondary School, Paja Lagos, class of Eagles, C88. Today we have a Lone Ranger in the house. My sister, my only job sister. She was the SP during her set in 1993. She finished in 1993. She's from Octopus House. You remember her as Joy Kika back in command. She's now Dr. Joy Ifesonya. Joy, we're glad to have you in the house. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so I want you to take a brief moment to reintroduce yourself. Maybe I missed something appropriately.
Oh, not really. My name is Joy Kika, now Joy Ifesonya. I was in Command Secondary School, Ibaja, between 1988, January 8th, 1988, and June 30th, 1993, to be precise.
You remember that stuff?
I do.
The first one I know that remembers that stuff.
Oh, crazy people like me remember stuff like that.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, I was in Octopus House, Dormitory 2. I was in GSS 1 Opal, GS 2 and 3 Gold, SS 1, 2, 3 Silver. Senior Prefect 1993 sets.
Oh, good.
You remember all those things? I don't remember any of those.
I'm one of those crazy ones.
that means you have a lot to share. You have a lot of memories. Good.
Yeah.
I hope I do.
All right, so since you remember the day you were dropped off in command, you remember the actual date. So give us a narrative from that particular day. How your experience in command was.
Okay, so it was a Friday.
Oh my God, you remember?
I think I was dropped around 2:30 or something like that, or 3 o'clock. By my dad and one of my neighbors. We were dropped in front of the MIR. We had all our luggage out. They checked for contraband, made sure we had the right color of they wear, uniform, stuff like that. And I don't think my inspection took 10 minutes because my father is a stickler for the rules, so everything was as if or as was expected. And they got a senior, I think, to take me down to my dormitory. I can't remember who the senior was, but that's basically it. I didn't sleep the whole night, my first day in command, because it was a new environment. I was coming home as a spoiled child. I was the second born in a family of 8, but I was spoiled because they thought I was a sickler, so I took advantage as a kid. And one day my father just came home and said, no, this is not going to happen. They are going to be spoiled under my watch. I know what to do. And the next week, command form was in our house, and I found myself doing command entrance and stuff. So strange environment. I didn't sleep, and the next morning everybody woke up. I was awake when everybody woke up. It was our first day in school. No housework for that day. They just our seniors lined us up and asked about us. What's your name? Where are you from? What school did you come from? And I started hearing names of schools I'd never heard before. And what position did you used to take when you were in school? Those crazy questions like that. And that was my first night in command. That was my first day, I guess, to say in command.
Wait, quick question. They were asking you positions when you were in primary school.
Just questions, really. Maybe I'm fuzzy on the specifics, but okay. They were asking us questions like, what position do you use to come in school? Just funny things like that.
Who was asking questions?
I think
Teachers or
no, seniors from 5
Seniors.
students.
They also have 91 sets now. It's 91 sets.
No, that's 88 sets.
Oh, 88 sets. Oh, your sets. Okay.
The people that were from 5, yeah.
Wow.
Now your sets be that.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us your experience in after all those questions. I know you were in Octopus House.
Mm-hmm.
What transpired as a junior? What did you have to go through? Did you have a school mother? Or how did that work out?
Oh, I didn't have a school mother. I hated the idea of having school mothers. Yes. I will explain myself. So my first day, or my second day in school on Saturday, I got into trouble. I think it was around noon. One of my classmates, am I allowed to mention names?
No, really.
Okay, so no. So one of my classmates, she is an only child, so her mom came around to see, make sure she's settling in well and everything. And we were in the dormitory, all the juniors, after all the seniors had asked us questions and stuff like that, we just sat down. I was drinking Gary and someone just came and said, hey, your mom is around, she's waiting in front of MR. And she was like, everybody follow me, let me meet my friends. And we all followed her, carried my cup of Gary along with me. We went to MIR, we saw her mom. After seeing her mom, we were coming back to the dormitory. And this bush girl was drinking her Gary as she was coming back from MIR towards the dormitory. And then a GS2 student saw us and asked me to kneel down. And I was looking at her like, why? So you're embarrassing girls' dummies jam. Like, how? He said, why are you drinking Gary outside the dormitory? I'm like, my Gary that my mother gave me in the cup that my father gave me. Yeah, I didn't see anything in the school book that said that we cannot drink Gary outside dormitory. She was like, they're talking back at me. Kneel down there. And then from 5 students in my dorm intervened, and the GS2 girl ended up being rude to the Form 5 student.
Wow.
Who just looked at me and said, Joy, get up. Yeah, be going. And now told the GS2 student to kneel down. Unfortunately, that day became the beginning of enmity between me and that GS2 student, and it lasted my whole life in command.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, she dealt with me. If she's punishing 10 people, she may leave those ones for like 5 minutes. Me, I will spend 2 hours on that punishment.
Wow.
If she tells everybody, go away, she will tell me, go and mop the law corridor in Tiger House. She was in Tiger House.
Wow.
And stuff like that. But when it comes to morning, duties, chores, at the beginning, yes, I used to do chores because I felt that was what everybody was expected to do. But along the line, I started learning the tricks of how to escape chores, like waking up early before the rising bell, quickly having a bath, getting ready, getting back in bed. The minute you hear, bam, 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 wake up, everybody wake up. By my crazy count of 10, I want all of you to have gotten up, laid your bed, and be standing in front of your bed. By the time that one is going on, I'm on my way. I've passed home economics lab. So that was what, junior days, I really got into trouble. Really, I really got into trouble. I had a few bumps, but I really got into trouble.
So, moving on, your senior days, what did you do?
Well, I think I was a relatively acceptable senior until I became senior prefect. As a senior, let me see, SS1, no biggie, just do your job. I think that was when they started giving us, making us supervisors here. So in the dormitory, somebody will supervise the lawn, somebody will supervise the corridors, somebody will supervise box room and bucket room, somebody will supervise the back of the dormitory, somebody will supervise the bathroom and toilets and stuff. So that's what they used to give us to do. in SS1. SS2, that was when they chose us as dorm captains. I was dormitory captain for at least one or two terms out of the 3 in SS2. I was dorm captain, and then I was in SS2. I became senior prefect now, third term SS2, and carried over to SS3. I don't know. I think I was a relatively okay senior. I was tough. Like, I don't like.
Now we're talking.
I don't like. I was tough. I don't like it when juniors don't do their jobs. Now, having that sounds hypocritical.
That's speaking like a regular prefect. All prefects always say that.
Okay. What she's saying is, when she was a junior, she
escaped morning duty. That sounds
now she hates it as a senior. When juniors don't do it.
Yes, so I agree. But when you're a senior, you now have responsibilities, and if you don't get those things done, you know, RSM area and all those ones will come after.
But guys, the thing is, when I said I escaped, it wasn't like I didn't do my duty. I wake up, do my duty, and run away. But you know, the crazy thing is, if you sweep and leave, somebody who is sweeping, say for example, you sweep the lawn and you leave, somebody who is sweeping the corridor will sweep onto your lawn. So you are not there to watch what you have done. You understand?
Exactly.
So get terrible at the end of the day. So that was what I meant by I escaped, because I didn't like the drama that surrounded morning duty and all those things, general labor and house labor, and I didn't like the drama. So I used to escape all those drama things, you know. And when I come back and they're like, you didn't do this, I'm like, I did my job and I went away. I went to read or something like that. So, but as a senior, I think I now saw it from the other side of the fence, you know, how it feels like when a junior comes and says, I swept this floor, and then you are seeing the floor, you can see that there is dirt on it, you know. So that's why I said it sounds hypocritical, but you know, I didn't like it when juniors give excuses for things. I didn't like juniors that had school mothers, because they used to use their school mothers as excuse for everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have school daughters until I became senior prefect, and the school daughters I had were peculiar people. You know, I think my first school daughter was actually one bold junior like this, who walked up to me. She was in JS1, very tiny little girl. Well, I was tiny too, but she was tinier than I. Just walks up to me and says, Senior Joy, I want you to be my school mother. I looked at her like, that's a good. And so like, I like you, I admire you, and I want you to be my school mother. I then looked at her, sat at her and said, I don't do school mother, but because you are asking. These are my rules. You do your job, you do your morning duty, don't do it to your seniors, you know, and stuff like that. I just laid the rules to her, and if you're okay with that, then you can be my school mother. So, or I can be your school mother. So that's how I got my first school daughter. She had a friend who you know, that one just kind of pallied along. Oh, she's on our group too. And she just kind of pallied along with my authentic school daughter, and she became my associate school daughter. I just took them under my wings like that. Then my second school daughter was given to me by the AO. Her father, they are northerners, and the father came, oh, this is my first daughter, and I think she was the only daughter, I'm not sure, but he came, this is my first daughter, I want someone who is responsible, blah 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 blah. And he said, oh, I know somebody who is responsible, and he called me and showed me to the man and said, this is the person, she's intelligent, she's this, she's that, she's responsible, she'll take good care of your daughter. The man handed the child over to me. That's how I got my second school daughter. My third school daughter was really my school daughter because she was my second cousin. And I think that was all I had. So I didn't like juniors that had school daughters, because my school mother said to me, and then people's school mothers, when I was a junior, people's school mothers showed me Pepe. I had there was a senior in my dormitory who had like 20 cutlery in her wardrobe. and she will still tell you to go and get cutlery for her. The cutlery, wardrobe is open, her wardrobe is open. You can see forks, spoons, and knives looking at you inside that her wardrobe. She tried to go and get her cutlery. God does not burn you well to face that wardrobe and go and pick cutlery inside. She collected all my cutlery. When I was coming in GS1, I think my mother gave me 2 or 3 sets of cutlery. Just because she felt she's careless. She has never been away from home. Let's give her more than she needs. So my mother gave me, I think, 2 or 3 sets of cutlery. This senior collected everything. I've been looking at my cutlery inside her cupboard like this. I want to go to dining room. Let's see.
Your senior, once she was in Form 5?
She was in Form 5. So she's first classmate. I didn't like that.
Then they terrorize juniors. That your set with that.
Those people showed us. A few of them were mean.
Were those the ones in Octopus House?
Yes, so Octopus House, them 2 seniors. Don't joke. Those people were not nice. They were not nice. So a few of them, quite a number of them, I had an okay relationship with. There was one who gave me a nickname in GS1. She called me Intelligent Mumu.
What? What does that mean?
I want to hear my stories.
No, explain that, please. Why did she come up with that term?
Okay, so when I came in jail, so I told you my mother gave me more than enough of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I came to command with 3 dozen carnation tin milk,
mm-hmm.
and 2 Milo Bonvita. I think it was Bonvita. Was it Bonvita? No, I think it was even Pronto. It was Pronto.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Pronto?
Yeah, I remember.
So I think it was 2 tins of Pronto, 3 packets of Senli sugar. Mama just gave me, let her not go and do ojukokoro and be stealing and be begging. She has never been away from home. So when I just came in, like GS1, so he say, does anybody have Gary? Seriously, Ife, your sister will raise hand. I do. Can I have some? I say yes. I open my locker, take 1 spoon of, 1 cup of Gary. Give the person, they'll go. Does anybody have sugar? I do. So by day 20 or 21 in command, my provisions were, I know that midterm is 6 months, 6 weeks. I was hungry for the next 3 weeks. Terribly hungry. I couldn't ask anybody for food because they did not have. And they opened their locker and I will see food inside. Like me, I had done that's how this senior, she's late now. I think she died when I was in 4th year or 5th year of medical school. She's your classmate, Ife.
I know.
So she was
very beautiful.
Oh, yes, she was. She just called me. She called me to her corner. She was at the extreme end of the dormitory. She called me to her corner. She said, "You be Mumu." I just looked at her. She said, "You be Mugu." I was like, only on top of the goodness of my heart. She said, "You donated everything. Is it that you didn't think you were going to be hungry? This is boarding house." So she really spoke to me, but she didn't give me stuff. She said that she's going to leave me, let me starve so that I will have sense. So after that, they started calling me Mumu or Mugu. So every time like this, say, "Oh, juniors come here," all the juniors will rush. They'll come. She said, "No, you come and stand there." I will go and stand in my corner. She will look for the person she wants to send message. We send the person message. But she will leave the Mumu there. When everybody has gone, she now sits me down. Or she will sit me down, tell me one crazy story. She just tell me anything that comes to her mind. When she finishes talking, she say, "Go away." So that's how I'll go away. Then at the end of first term, when we were about to go home, before we went home, they called all the juniors in class or in the dormitory. All of us with our report card. Oh yeah, open your report card. What was the position? I came 10. I came 11. I came Kinikon. You come, I think anything after 20th, they will abuse you and say all sorts of rubbish and call you all sorts of names. Say you are a loafer, you are Kinikon. What are you doing? You are disgracing the superstars. And then he got to me. Hey, she said, yeah, you. What position did you come? That's why I carry my report card and open it. What position did you come? I said, I came first. What class are you? I said GSS 1 upper. Who is in GS 1 upper here? They didn't look at my report card. Who is in GS 1 upper here? Is she the one that came first in your class? I also did the report card. Eventually, she collected the.
Wait, you told them you came first and they were still trying to.
Because I was dealing now.
Okay, I understand now.
Surprised to them, they didn't believe it.
Because I was dealing. So that's how this senior looked at me. I said, hey, it's true. Then she not started calling everybody. This one, come and see you. No, come and see you. This girl come first, true. Intelligent Mugu. So that was how she gave me that name, and that was what she called me until she left that school.
What class was that senior?
She was in Form 5. She was 88 set.
Oh, really?
She's late now. But she was one of the nice ones. When she died, I cried though. I've never been, I wasn't in touch with her all through. But she was one of the nice ones. She was just the kind of, tell it as you see it kind of person.
Okay.
So when I was being an idiot, she gladly called me a mugu. And then when she found out that, she's academically sound, she added intelligence to the mugu, maybe to soften it for me.
Okay. In your set, the SP was Akiyemi.
Yeah, like
it was in Tigers, Abi?
Yes, he was in Tigers.
Oh, I remember him, because I was just looking at the booklet. That was you now.
Yeah.
When you take this picture?
This was me in 2017.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was like, this guy sounds familiar. I knew he was one of the guys I used to hang around.
Okay.
Serious area those days. I think it was in GS2 that time when I was in Form 5.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah. Where is he now?
I think he's in Lagos.
Okay.
I think he's in Lagos.
It's been a while. Yeah, I remember he was very small those days in junior days.
Like became big as a senior.
No, in junior days. I'm sorry. Well, 1 or 2 was tiny.
The ones had not kicked him.
Yeah, he was very tiny. I remember him.
So, Joy, give us how will you say command helped transform you from a girl to a lady, to a woman,
command
to a mother?
I learned lessons in command, really. Lessons about discipline, lessons about a degree of order. My father was in the military, so it's not like I wasn't a disciplined person. But, when you are with your parents, there's a limit to which they can be hard on you. But command,
not necessarily. My dad didn't have limits.
Okay.
My dad is a military officer too. I'm being firstborn. Yeah, I got it very well. I was actually scared of him more than I was scared of RSM and commandant.
Well, I fear my parents, so true. But command brought a lot of people together. So I was able to experience, like my father was lower rank in the army. I think he was a sergeant when I entered. He was WO2 when I graduated. But you had officers' children, you had civilians. We are the other ranks. We are the other ranks. So command, there was an amalgamation. Let me just use that word. There was an amalgamation of characters and different walks of life, and learning to deal with people based on where they are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing that command taught me, you know. Then command also taught me to toughen up. I tend to be pacifist by nature. I would avoid an argument unless my life depends on it. But in command, I learned to take tough stands against people. Because, you know, like, for example, as senior prefects, they want to do house party. And they're like, SP, make you open gates. I'm like, NO, that gate is short. If you want to go for a house party, I'm not saying don't go for house party, but you have to go over that fence. And if they are chasing you people, I will not wake up to come and open gates because not be misled on that. I did open gate for you to go. I will not come and open gates for you to enter.
Well, it's your set that there was a lot of pattern going on, and we heard from a different person that came that is in your set, okay, that they brought that some other schools came in to come and do party in the school, and I was like, what? Who is your commandant? No wonder that makes sense.
Okuch was a tough guy.
Not necessarily from the things we've heard back and forth.
I don't know. Honestly, the story about other people coming to the school, I have no idea.
You're SP, so I don't expect you to.
A lot of things that happened in that school, I did not have an idea they were going on. You know, unfortunately, to a lot of people, it seemed like I knew what was going on, but I honestly didn't have an idea. In fact, sometimes on my group page, when someone just brings out a story, was I in the same school with these guys?
Yeah, we've had a lot of 93 sets and 94 sets, so it is weird.
Many times when they are talking, I'm like, I think I went to an alternate universe command secondary school, because all the stories you guys are telling, I had no idea they were going on. Well,
they will tell you now. It's because you're SP. They don't definitely.
I was senior prefect and I was the designate Olofofo of the set.
Exactly.
In their mind, they're like, if Joy see you, now report him. She's the one. She will report you. But really, I did report a lot of people as a senior. It's hard to believe. I know a lot of them still think I did, but most of them.
Put it on the record now so that when they watch it, that 93 sets, they know that you didn't report it because they watch it.
A lot of them. I can remember the people I reported, the people whose names I wrote down. I can actually remember them. I can count them on one hand.
I count them now so they know.
I can count them on one hand.
On your sets.
If I say I can count them on one hand, that means they are less than 5. That's what it means.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. I can count the number of people I reported in command on one hand. Just one hand. That's nothing compared to what I've been famed defamed for.
Okay. No, but we've heard a lot. We've interviewed a lot of people from your set, and even talking off air.
Those guys.
Is it the same commander?
They lived wild. Very wild guys. Well, should I say wild? Is their own. I think their own expression of youthful exuberance was just atypical. That's the word. They had an atypical expression of youthful exuberance, but it's all good. We're all old now.
So let me ask you, if you have a chance, I know you have 2 little girls.
I have 3 daughters.
3. Oh, okay. After that, will you send them to command?
No.
Just like that. Wait, back up. You just explained how command transformed you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your discipline, the character, the toughness that you weren't passive anymore. You know what I'm saying? So why won't you want to instill that in your girls?
Because I'm not the RSM.
Yeah, the commander. I like that.
And
you're the SP.
So you're using the command methodology, because that's the question we've asked some of the folks previously, you're using the command methodology to raise them. I think I do that with my daughters too. Yeah.
I my husband does not believe in boarding schools. Let me put that out.
So he went to a day school, right?
Oh yeah, he went to a day school. So ever before we had kids, when we were talking about kids and how we want to raise our children, and I just mentioned that they might go to boarding house. So like, all my children are going to school under my nose. Like, I mean, you know me, not to mark away, you know. So that. Then I told you that I'm a tough person. Even my siblings know that I'm a tough person. Even in my university, in UI, because I was in medical school there, dental school to be precise. And my younger brother, I think it was in 2013, he went for NYSC. And he met some of the people that graduated from my school. They just saw him because my family has one kind of face. Like, if you see us, you know we are siblings. And they saw him and they were like, we know your sister. I don't think he had introduced himself yet. Yeah, we know your sister. My brother, they were like, you don't know me. And they were like, you're Dr. Professor as brother. I was like, yes. Now your sister is tough. And what do you? You know? So my brother called me from NYA. She was like, sister, I know some of your people here. I said, hey, can you want to answer? He said, yeah, Jerry, most of you, the way she treated the people, that's the way she treated the first two at home.
Did your siblings go to command or anything?
No, but you know, at home, well, one of my siblings, myself and my immediate junior sister, I was 93 set, she was 94 set. Yes, she was the activity prefect, yes.
Okay, so all the other siblings, they went to day school or what?
What?
If I didn't like your sister, I would have brought both of you on the show.
Oh, okay. But that would have been tough. She's in Nigeria.
It's easy. We do it all the time.
Are you serious? Oh, can you?
We've had siblings. We've had siblings.
Okay, that's true. They are the sons. I remember that.
Yeah.
There's another set of siblings too.
We had a couple, maybe like 4 or 5. So all your other siblings, they didn't go to command or any other military school?
No, every other person went to day school. Yes.
Command day?
No, not command day. Nobody else went to command. Only me and my immediate junior.
So is there a difference in you and your sister compared to your siblings today because they went to day school? Do you notice that?
Not really. Honestly, not really. I told you my parents were tough. My dad is a military man, so he used that thing to handle all of us too. So me going to school, me going to command was partly because of that story I told you at the beginning, my laziness at home. The other thing was where I lived, the compound where I lived, my neighbor's kids were going to boarding house. There was a family whose daughter went to FGGC, Federal Government Girls College, and somebody went to FGGC Jos. And my father just wanted to be among the number. You understand? So I went, and then my younger sister went. And I think my other sister who wrote entrance didn't pass. And my father just was like, I have 2 kids in boarding house. So he didn't overflog the issue, let me put it that way, because I already had 2 kids in boarding school, so it wasn't a big deal. And day school, they were not really paying school fees, but command were paying school fees, so it was like.
Which day school was that one?
No, day school now, Lagos, not these government schools, New Era Girls, secondary school.
Oh, those ones. Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
But how much was command school fees those days then?
It was small, no.
It was very small, no.
It was small, no, but compared to not paying school fees at all. The man had 8 children, okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying because I remember what the school fees was in like 87, like 13 naira now.
It wasn't big. It wasn't a lot, honestly.
Yeah, it's still even minimal today compared to other schools. From what I hear,
yes,
it's minimal.
Definitely correct. Yes.
So let me ask you then one more thing. What would you say had that impression on you in command? I know you said you didn't like the idea of having school models. So, was any senior teachers, classmates that had an impression?
Teachers. Mrs. Balogun, my chemistry teacher.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mrs. Doje.
Yep.
She was my house mistress at one time, and then she was my English teacher in SS2. Yeah. Then Mrs. Muniz, my geography teacher, and my form teacher, I think in SS3. Those three people. And my organic chemistry teacher, for the life of me, I can't remember her name. I loved that woman. And Madam Wilson. Madam Wilson.
French teacher, right?
French teacher.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yes. Oh, that woman. She made me like French. I went to a public school. My primary school was a public school. So of course we didn't know anything about French. And when I came in GS1, she came in and she was speaking French in the class. And I was looking at her like, hey, what is this? I have never spoken a word of French in my life. And she introduced herself, bonjour les étudiants, every other person, all the Grace Children's School and all those Adrao international children. Bonjour, madame le professeur Abikino. Oh, madame.
Hello. I think she started teaching that French in our Form 3. Mrs. What's her name? Wilson, right?
Miss Wilson.
Yeah, because I remember in my Form 2, the person who started teaching us French was an NYC guy.
Okay.
Yeah?
She taught me French in Form 1.
She did? I know we had a new person in Form 3.
Okay, that woman.
Are you talking about Mr. Fatuashi?
I
can't remember the name.
Mr. Fatuashi.
I didn't like French anyway. But anyway, I'm just saying in Form 2, whoever that NYC person that came in and said today is the last day he was going to speak English. And he spoke French.
That would be Mr. Fatuashi.
Well, let's put it this way. A lot of people failed it. We didn't care. If not, shake the Sierra for those of us that we just did care. After you said that, you don't come into a class and say, this is the last time I'm going to speak French, and you start speaking English, sorry. Then you start doing it. When he's calling us, we don't answer. You understand? So we don't use either cane to flog us or stuff. Then it was just a very annoying class. You understand? He didn't motivate us in, and I took French in primary school. You understand? So it didn't motivate us to like it. You starting the class with beating. You understand? Like seriously, So the same thing with mathematics class from 2 too. I hated that because of him. If you start the class with beating,
you just call me all of you sleep. I start flogging. Mr. Baby, you showed us 99.
Who was the SP boy during your set?
Laiwola King.
That's what we said now. The third guy.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy said that in Form 2 I knew he was small.
Alright. Wow. So it's been fun, man.
It's been fun. If a senior prefect girl who did not join the 93 setting doing adventurous things.
I had one geography teacher in SS1 who called me one day and said, you know your type. You know your type and we will soon catch you. I don't know.
I mean, what was he trying to talk about? What was talking about?
What Goke just talked about, that the senior prefect that didn't join everybody to do the wrong thing.
Right.
Like, we know your type. You'll be pretending like you are not part of them. We will catch you. You
said it to your senior year?
What?
In your senior year, he said that to you?
Yes, he said that to me in SS3.
Why did he think you are doing stuff?
Well, I don't know. I think some of my classmates were maybe under his care, and they didn't like me because they thought that I was reporting them. A lot of them, those guys honestly got some serious, terrible punishments. The way soldiers beat people and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I was the one that reported them, according to.
No, but I also had that back in the day, during that time, RSI, because I think you still had a Jayoban, right?
Yeah.
That they used to throw water from upstairs, Scorpion House upstairs and Dragon House on those soldiers. So they used to raid them regularly for what the stories I heard. I used to laugh a lot about that.
Those were terrible. One actually mentioned one day that he slapped a soldier. I was like, that soldier, he He said, before call. I was like,
Was the soldier an old one?
He was one of those terrible soldiers. So I can't even remember the guy's name.
They must have ambushed him. No, they must have ambushed him like a 88
yes. They
was ambush. That's what they did.
The guy met, I don't know how they met, something had happened that morning. This my classmate was in school, I think they on suspension from boarding house. So they used to come from home to come to school to do stuff. And I think, well, from later I heard that they didn't go home definitely. They were staying like in hotels or hostels around school. And they will now sneak into school in the morning and, you know, come and do whatever they had to do. I don't know what happened. I can't remember the story. It was on my group page that I actually heard this. And the guy said,
when they suspended let me get this correct. They suspended them, they didn't go home.
Yeah, they can't go home now. You go home when they suspend you.
I know. So those part of the people that when they're supposed to come back to their parents, they rented people to act as their parents. Because I heard someone did that.
Okay. Honestly, I cannot verify or deny.
Strict military personnel. They can't go home because they know their father will kill them. So they will not go and rent somebody to come and act as their father or mother to the school. And I heard about that. I laughed like crazy. They rent some people.
It happened. A couple of guys did that stuff in my set.
Yeah, they will rent somebody.
And we were cracking up, man. We were cracking up.
Yeah, because they know that their parents will kill them. So they just, that's why I couldn't get suspended. Go and tell my boss. He will kill me. And the other part is that I can't rent somebody. You know why I can't rent somebody?
Because they knew
the two commandants knew my dad. Very well. So I don't know somebody. They'll be looking at me. That's not correct. Then they'll tell my bossy. The next position will be very serious on me. You understand? So
for me, a lot of things in school, like all this wildness, even the little of it that I heard about, you know, because I used to hear about Valentine's Day party, house party, something. But I never really got into those things because I was like, hey, when I was living in GS1, my mother was crying. She didn't say anything except one adage. Remember the daughter of who you are. That was all she said to me, and that thing stood with me all through my command. When I want to be crazy, when I want to be crazy, I will just remember the child of whom you are, and my head just calm down. Tell myself, just respect.
That's a trigger to make it.
Don't go to any party. Don't look for any boyfriend. Just jelly. Go and sleep.
You didn't try to come on. You didn't date anybody.
Meanwhile now, no, I was undateable now. Bros,
that's
those guys. Let me tell you. No, well, honestly, when I was a junior, I had one guy in my class who me and him used to talk a lot. We talked to the extent of, what do you think about having a boyfriend or a girlfriend? I think we're having this conversation in GS2 or GS3. We're coming back from prep class, we went to read. And I was like, maybe when I'm in senior class, I would consider having a boyfriend. But by the time I was a senior, I don't know. I think I just lost taste for it. Honestly, I just lost taste for it. And I was crushing on celebrities, none of which was in my class. like the wrestling Voleric brothers and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was my man crush all day, all month. I used to write lyrics of Michael Jackson song on my wall in every class I was in. On the wall there was a Michael Jackson song there, you know. So somehow I think I just lost taste for it. And 1, 2, I was too serious. They thought I frowned a lot and I just didn't have time. A few people tried to walk up to me, actually one person. The other person tried to steal a kiss, but I was white and I caught it on time before anything could happen. And I think that was basically it. The other person sent someone to come and tell me he was interested in me. I was like, who is this person? Then they told me who he was. And I'm like, why is he not here? Why is he sending me to you? He said, you don't know. His father is a colonel. I remember I had that thing. I was like, hey, don't mind me. Why? When they get to cantonment, or when they get to, my father worked in office of chief of army staff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like when they get to their office, your father is colonel and my father's WO2. They can rank themselves, outrank themselves, throw themselves inside guard room. Say, but inside this command secondary school, it's the same level ground me and you are working. If you cannot stand on the same level ground, tell me he's interested in me. Tell him I'm not interested. That was how that one died. That was how that story died.
So you telling me he did not have the he did not have the boldness to still come to you?
No. The guy just never did. I guess he was just trying to protect himself. He felt she's tough and he didn't want to. And he felt this other person, the person he sent to me was actually one of the fun guys that I used to talk to in the class. And like, she's your friend. If you like butter her up for me, then I can come. But the buttering didn't work, unfortunately.
Our colleague didn't have skill set.
I was too much of a Paco for that butter.
You know, sometimes I think when you became the SP, that would have been intimidating to most guys.
Oh, but what I'm talking to you happened in GS3.
That's what I'm saying. You were SP now.
GS3. Yes. So I sent someone to me in GS3.
So SS3, nobody approached you.
By that time, they don't burn anybody.
So are you still tough today? Do your husband say you are very, very tough? I guess because you went to command. Because sometimes you are stubborn. When he tell you something like he's the head of the family, you are like, so.
The funny thing is my husband has never had to tell me he's the head of the family.
No, I'm just joking on that.
I'm stubborn. No, I'm still stubborn. I'm still heady in a way, but I think I'm responsible with my stubbornness. So I know my
battles.
Thank you. I know my limits with people and just try to my own, like in my workplace, my own is do your job. If you do your job, I do my job, everybody's fine, we go home happy, So I rarely have clashes with people, but I'm a little opinionated. So if someone wants to say this and I don't agree, I don't back down. I make sure I express myself until I'm satisfied that you understand what my expression is. Whether you accept it or not, there's another question official. But like I said, that's one of the things I learned in command, how to not back down if I have a point to prove. If I have an opinion to make, I went to command quite timid, actually, quite timid. I was trying to tell you a story about Madame Wilson and I in French. I didn't know a word of French. You went through a challenge as me in GS1. She was like, I'm waiting to see your French results at the end of this term. And I want you to be one of the best in the class. At the end of that term, I was first position in class in French. I think I scored 97 over 100.
What? She motivated you.
She did. Yes, okay. That's one of the things command has taught me to do in life. Like, don't look at anything and say it's not doable. At least try.
Yes, I know. Chemistry was not it for me either.
Physics was not it for me.
I used to pass physics, yeah. But chemistry was never.
I had a bad physics foundation, and I never tried to make up for it, to compensate for it. When I was in SS1, my physics teacher, I think Mrs. Aminobi is her name. She died. She was pregnant. She lost it. She died in pregnancy, and she was giving me a good foundation, and that foundation just crumbled. And after then, we started having NYSC teachers who didn't know their mouth from their anus. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about it. And it was terrible. It was really terrible. My SS3, I had 1 credit. I did 9 subjects. I had 1 credit. It was in physics. Every other thing was an A. Physics was just not it for me. But my point is, in life generally, Command taught me not to give up on anything without giving me a try. That's really has been.
Actually, I agree with that with one caveat where I have interest. So like chemistry, I never passed it, and I was so happy to drop it when I dropped it. In Form 3, I got punished several times because during the exam I used to draw on the exam sheet. Okay. The house, drug. No, serious. This punishment a lot because of that stuff.
Chemical formula.
I didn't read jack. Because I had teachers I did not like, and they were just punishing me. And I remember my dad was asking me questions about. I didn't tell him that when I was drawing it because I would have gotten slapped. I just told him that I couldn't comprehend how the teacher was teaching, and I was going, what does that mean? Comprehend. Like that. Then I told you the French time from 2 that I was speaking French after. So I'm like, please, I didn't really care. So if I have interest, so I put in the effort. Physics was hard, but I was always passing physics. That's the funny thing. And biology, I was passing it. A lot of people who like chemistry always complain of physics, but for some reason I was passing physics, but chemistry, I don't know, I think it was the teacher, so I just didn't care. You understand? I just didn't care. So when Obidipo made us do for chemistry, I was pissed.
Let me tell you guys how much I hated chemistry, right? From Command, I hated that course, and my mother wanted me to be a doctor. She thought I was the smartest person out of 7 kids, and me, I wanted to become an architect. I knew from 3 I wanted to become an architect, and I went to even study architecture actually. So I didn't do chemistry commando. My mother for some reason thought it was going to be like, this guy is too smart. She registered chemistry for me in GC for GC. You know what happened, right? I left home. I didn't go to that class. To do what now? I didn't study. I entered the class. I didn't go.
She was pissed.
Yeah, no, I told her. I didn't go. I didn't attend the class.
Wow.
So she was like, this actually, where did you go that day?
I mean, I can't remember where I went. I didn't go that day. She was pissed. Like, you didn't go to the exam. To go and do what? I don't even know the course. I was just anyway.
Physics, I did BS minimum because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
even in university, I had problems with physics. I could still struggle for chemistry and sort myself out, but that physics, I just didn't try at all.
I wish I listened to my mother because chemistry punished me in Ife.
Oh, really?
That means destroy my GP. So I mentioned architecture. First year, I realized I have to do chemistry 101 and 102. I failed those courses for like 4 times. It destroyed my GP. And each of them was 5 units.
Wow.
So my mother's words came back to bite me eventually.
Oh, shoot.
Big time, yeah? Alright, okay. Let's wrap this up, man.
Yeah, so Joy, thank you very much for coming. We're, SP93 sets. We appreciate you. We have to respect our people. Excuse me. Octopus House, so I want to thank you very much for coming on board and espousing your experience from back in the day and kind of cracking us up about your experiences. It was a pleasure having you over here. Definitely. We also want to tell folks watch this, please subscribe. We have the subscribe button over there, large button over there. Just subscribe and share and like. We are really appreciate when you watch this. So encourage your 93 set folks to subscribe to. We option them to subscribe and stuff. So we'll definitely bring more people. So thank you for giving us your time this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what time is it in the UK right now? What?
I'm in Canada.
Oh, Canada. Sorry, you're in Canada.
Yeah, it's just past 6.
Oh, past 6. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah,
All
thank
right.
you very much.
Joy,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Dr.
Thank
Joy Ifesonya.
Thank you
Dr. Joy
very much.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everyone.
I'll catch you in the
Bye.
forum as usual.
All right, thank you. My daughter is saying bye-bye.
All right. Let us see the little commando.
Come and see us, please.
Let us see. Hello. What's your name? What's your name?
What's your name?
Dabiwa.
I didn't hear. What did she say?
What's your name?
Dabiwa.
Dabiwa.
Dabira.
Dabira. Okay. Wow.
No,
Never heard
I
that.
thought she said though. I thought she said Daddy one.
Dabira.
You're watching too much, Mr. Macaroni. You're watching too much, Mr. Macaroni. Daddy wa, mommy wa.
Her name is Dabira.
Oh, Daddy wa.
Dabira.
Oluwadabira. Okay, Oluwadabira.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Please
you.
share the band name. Share, subscribe, and spread the word. We'll see you.
Thank
Okay?
you. Yeah, bye-bye.